The sun dipped low behind the rice fields, painting the small village in hues of gold. Smoke curled from kitchen fires, blending into the evening sky, while children's laughter rose as they chased one another barefoot along the dusty road. Yet, inside one modest home, silence pressed heavy on the air. James had returned. Years away had carved new lines in his face, each etched by distance, burden, and choices that kept him far from those who had loved him most. He stood at the doorway, his breath unsteady, his eyes locked on the two figures who had endured his absence through storms and seasons. His mother, her hair streaked silver with age, and too deep, the woman whose quiet strength had anchored him even from afar. For a moment, James could not breathe. He saw worry etched deep into his mother's face, the toll of sleepless nights and unanswered prayers. He saw tenderness in Too Deep's gaze, but it was a tenderness bruised by pain, for she had endured not only loneliness but rumors, uncertainty, and doubt. The weight of all those years bore down on him. Before he could stop himself, James sank to his knees on the worn wooden floor. His voice broke, trembling with sorrow. "I'm sorry for making you and Mother wait so long." His mother's eyes filled with tears. Her trembling hands reached for him. "My son, all I ever wanted was for you to come home safe." "No success, no fortune, means more to me than this moment." Too Deep's breath caught. She had imagined this reunion countless times, yet the sight of the man she loved, kneeling before his mother in raw repentance, was almost too much to bear. Slowly, she knelt beside him, covering his hands as though shielding him from the ghosts of the past. "James," she whispered, her voice soft but steady, "you do not need to apologize for the storms you faced. You came back, that is enough." But James shook his head, tears brimming. "No, Too Deep. No, Mother. I chased dreams that took me far away, and I left you both waiting in shadows." "I thought I was building a future, but all I did was steal time from those who mattered most." The silence that followed was not empty. It was full, the sound of forgiveness filling the space between them. His mother drew him into her arms, her tears flowing freely. "You are my son. No matter how far you went, no matter how long you stayed away, my heart never stopped waiting." "And now, you are here." Too Deep leaned close, her voice firm yet tender. "What matters is not the years we lost, but the days we will build from now on." "Do not let regret chain you, James. Let it teach you." In that moment, James felt the weight lift. The world outside still threatened storms, betrayals, and enemies, but on that humble wooden floor, wrapped in love and forgiveness, he found strength greater than any empire could give. He understood then. Success was not towers of glass or empires of wealth. True success was the warmth of home, the patience of love, and the tears that flowed not from sorrow but from faith reborn. Holding his mother and two deep close, his voice steadied, "From today, I will not let you wait in shadows again. Whatever comes, we will face it together." For the first time in years, the house was no longer filled with silence, but with hope. Peace interrupted. The days that followed James's return were fragile, like porcelain in trembling hands. Word spread swiftly through the village. The once distant CEO had come home. Neighbors peered through the gates, whispering of his fall, his struggles, and the mysterious woman who had always stood beside him. But inside the home, none of that mattered. James rose early to help his mother water the garden. In the evenings, he walked with two deep under lantern-lit streets. For the first time in years, he tasted peace. But peace rarely lasts for a man with enemies. One rainy night, as droplets tapped the tiled roof, James sat at the old wooden table, papers from the city spread before him. The flickering lamp revealed the burden on his face. Too Deep noticed at once. She set a warm bowl of soup before him and spoke gently. "James, you promised to leave those heavy things behind. Why do you still carry them?" He looked up, eyes shadowed by memory. "Because the storm is not over. John has not forgotten me." "He will never forgive what my family's name represents. Even here, even now, I feel his shadow." Her heart tightened. She had heard of John, once James's partner, now an enemy poisoned by bitterness and revenge. She reached across the table, laying her hand over his. "We will face him together." "You are not alone anymore." Her words lit a spark in him, but he knew the danger was real. His fall from power had not erased John's hatred. If anything, it had made him more vulnerable. The next day proved his fears true. Shadows in the marketplace. At the market, as James and Two Deep browsed stalls of fruit and vegetables, men in dark jackets cornered them. The leader's lips curled in a cruel smile. "James, you thought you could disappear into this quiet life? John sends his regards." Two Deep instinctively stepped in front of James, trembling but fierce. The market stilled, villagers frozen with fear. James pulled her behind him and faced the men squarely. His voice was low, steady. "Tell John this. I am not the man I once was. If he wants to confront me, he must face not only my strength, but the truth he has tried to bury." The men sneered, but before they could act, farmers, shopkeepers, and even children stepped forward. Their eyes blazed with quiet defiance. Poor they may have been, but they would not allow violence to stain their market. Outnumbered by unexpected courage, the men retreated, their threats echoing as they vanished into the crowd. Too Deep clung to James, tears streaming. "I cannot lose you again." James held her tightly, jaw set. "You won't. This is no longer just about me. It's about protecting you, protecting Mother, and protecting the future we will build." "If John wants war, then I will end it, once and for all." That night, sitting by his mother's side, he confessed his fear. She had seen the confrontation from afar, her eyes filled with both pride and dread. "My son," she whispered, "revenge is a fire that destroys not only your enemy, but the one who carries it." "Be wise, James. Fight not for hate, but for love." For the first time, James understood his strength came not from anger, but from the two women beside him. With their faith, he could rise again. Lessons of the heart. The days turned, each carrying both joy and sorrow. James and Too Deep vowed never to let silence or distance divide them again. His mother's wisdom reminded him that redemption was not found in fleeing the past but in facing it. The value of time. James realized no achievement was worth the years stolen from those who loved him. The power of forgiveness. His mother and Too Deep welcomed him not with resentment, but with healing tears. The meaning of courage. True courage was not the absence of fear, but the will to move forward, protecting what mattered most. The truth of happiness. Not in wealth or power, but in a meal shared, a vow whispered, or a tear shed in a mother's embrace. In the end, James, Too Deep, and his mother discovered a love unbreakable, forged by faith and endurance. And though enemies still moved in the shadows, their story reminds us of a timeless truth. Happiness is not something we chase in far-off places. It is something we return to, in the hearts of those who never stop waiting for us.